What is good, people? Satsuki the Reactor here. Hit a live react to Fruits Basket, the final episode 5. Last episode we left off, we had the whole confirmation of what happened to Reen. So we know that Akito locked her up and gave her a haircut, but honestly, it doesn't look too bad. All right, Reen, she kind of got off lucky that she didn't go bald messing around with Akito. All right, but you also got to note that it's not just Akito's fault. It's also Rain's fault because she sent her on a mission to where she didn't care what happened to her. So she has culpability in what happened to Rain as well. But Haru and Kareno, who needs a lot of credit for what he did, they were able to help her and make sure that she was able to go home. Beautiful moment between Haru and Rain, of course. But that made up the bulk of that episode. So with that being said, let's get started on this. But I will say that I did get spoiled on one thing, all right? And if you did not watch this episode yet, then I advise you to skip ahead a little, probably like 10 seconds. But I know that Momiji gets his glow up in this episode. Like, listen, I like the Fruits Basket community. I won't say love, but I like them, okay? But when it comes to some of these manga readers and just trying to show off the previews, and this is with me having damn near every Fruits Basket term muted. I have Momiji muted, Toru muted, Yuki muted, Kyo muted, every name that you could think of Fruits Basket I have muted, but I'll still see things like this. They always like leak the previews of what happens in the next episode before the episode comes out. So sometimes that happens. So that's what happened here. So once I see Momiji's glow up, I'm not really going to be surprised. I mean, I already see it in the opening, so it's not that big of a deal. Just letting y'all know what's up with that. And if I were to get spoiled on other things, you would know why. Now with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so we're with Ayame and Mine. Ayame seems real serious already. You don't see Ayame serious like that most of the times. But that's an interesting question. I wonder how significant others of people who are with the Zodiacs, I wonder how that relationship goes. I mean, we've seen a little bit of Kana and how she was able to deal with Hattori, but it must be like really troubling not to be able to hug your partner. And we seen it to where it doesn't have to be like a hug like this or anything like that. So it would make a lot of things difficult. So yeah, but I mean, I don't know how long these two have been together, but it seems like Mine is in there for the long haul. This seems like a solid couple. So I don't think she would leave you, even if you were still cursed. Your Mine is not going anywhere. She loyal. Shout out to Mine, man. They're doing a lot of the Hattori and Mayuko pairing. That's going to be a thing by the end. Okay, I guess we're going to see like all the pairings. Machi and Yuki, Kyo and Toru, Rin and Haru, my boy Nao and Motoko. Why Yuki looks so beautiful right there? Yo, Machi got the Machi, bro. Look. Machi got the sixth sense because she had her back turned. Of course, she can hear the door opening, but Jesus Christ, she got like a sixth sense. She was able to scatter. I gotta power scale more of these Fruits Basket characters because Kimi wasn't on my list when I did the power scale. Yes, I power scale Fruits Basket characters. Watch the video, but Kimi needs to be power scale. And Machi does as well because the speed feats. My God, she scattered like a cockroach in the light. Look at Yuki. You like, oh my God, the two biggest cop blockers. Look, they so mad. They so heated. Oh man. Oh, I forgot Yuki hasn't told her about the I should have thought about that, but it's never crossed my mind that he's never told her about the Soma secret. So she doesn't know anything at all. I wonder how that conversation is going to go over. And you know that has to be bothering Yuki especially because the curse is something that made him lose his friend. So having the proposition of the curse being the thing to lead to him not being able to find love, that's got to hurt even worse. You know, and Yuki's just a lonely person. But yeah, him caring about Machi, you don't want to lose her to something that you can't control. So obviously we know that Machi is going to leave Yuki because of the curse, but you understand why these characters will feel very insecure about that. They've been playing this music a lot. I feel like they played it in every episode. Oh, Kareno. That's my girl now. Shigure just stopped talking. He just stopped talking. Hey man, Kareno got him shook. That's the narrative we pushing. Kareno just watching his mommy and dad fight. I gotta go back to what Shigure said. Time will move on and leave you behind. So will people and emotions. So, okay, yeah, it makes sense because, you know, people aren't going to feel the same forever. And I also think that leads into why Shigure does the things he does with the manipulation and the conniving tricks that he plays, because he's trying to force change. He has to literally force change because as you can't let things stay complacent, because the way Akito works is kind of just sit around and hope that the people around her acts the way she wants to. I think the takeaway there is that emotions are fleeting and Shigure is one to take initiative. That gotta be Momiji. That gotta be Momiji. Oh my god. I see the screenshot, but oh my god. It's so fucking hilarious. Bro, Momiji just last episode he was a fucking Goomba. He was a Goomba. Now he's like with Super Mario, or when Mario eats the mushroom, he leveled up, all growth spurt. Bro, look how he just posted up behind Toru like, "Hey, shawty." Toru like, "What the fuck are you? Weren't you just like a midget like an episode ago? An episode or two ago?" Bro, it's so ridiculous, but we had to go with it. Everybody else had their growth spurt. Kisa had it. Hero had it. Momiji needed it. He should have been had it. We'll take it now. But it looks ridiculous. I gotta say it. But Momiji is my son, if you did not know. Alright, that is my boy. But I can't call him a boy no more. He's a young man. So, salute to my son Momiji. All by yourself? Wanna walk home together? Look at Toru's back. Who the fuck is that? If I was Fruits Basket, I would make that a joke within the show. Like, I know the manga showed Momiji's growth accurately, like over time. But if I was the anime and I knew I messed up by not showing his growth over time, I would have made it a joke. Like, I would have been like, "Yo, wasn't he just like a 2 episodes ago?" I would just have to make it a joke within an anime, add some anime original content, just because everybody's watching has to understand, like, "Yo, wait, what's going on?" So I would just make it a joke. Just take advantage of your mess up. He still got the bunny backpack while they talking. They talking about he all grown up. He just grew a little, or a lot. Damn, man, Momiji went from cute, adorable, now he's handsome, man. Man, my son really grew up. Being little was fun until I got the Dragon Balls, and then I wish to grow like I'm Frieza in that one movie. I feel like low key, maybe not even low key. I think it's kind of high key. Maybe I'm reading too much into the situation, but when he says like, "I'm a man too," you know, and then he looks at Toru the way he did, I think that's implying that he has romantic feelings for Toru. It makes sense. They've been together for a long time, and I've always talked about how like they're the same person because they're both like adorable, very selfless people. I mean, that's a lot of Fruits Basket characters, so I didn't really do my favors, do myself a favor saying that, but they had this. They radiated a lot of the same energy, but it would make sense for Momiji to be attracted to Toru. It makes sense. Like you said, he is a man too. So he like, "Hey Toru, what's up?" Like Toru, what's up? Is that hey Momiji? Do your thing, man. I already know the Kyo and Toru shift is happening, but listen, put your word in there. Like he let Toru know, hey, holla at me. Holla at me. I'm available. You know what I'm saying? I could be your prince. Like Momiji, come on. Momiji. That's my boy. Yeah. Fuck a low key. The way he looks at her and blushes and then, squeezes her hand more tightly. He put Toru on notice. Hey, I'm not that little swear. I'm not that little cute kid anymore. Anyone would take them for a doting couple. Oh, and I also think the reason why what Momiji said there is important is because of how Toru viewed him. I think that's why it's so important. Because if you remember when Toru was getting to know Momiji, she thought he was in. Well, he was in middle schooler. Oh, he was a middle schooler when they first met, but she thought Momiji was like probably like a first year in middle school. She didn't know that Momiji was only a year younger than her. She thought he was so young that it was fine just to sleep with him, and she actually did sleep with him. Slept right next to him, and it's something that you would do more so with children that you don't think will have any like sexual attraction to you. But like I said, the Momiji put on notice, like, listen, if I get the offer to do that again, like, you better view me as a man. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not that adorable kid that you cuddle with. That's not me anymore. You know what I'm saying? He putting on notice. I gotta respect that. Cause like I said, Toru seen him as a kid. He ain't no kid anymore, or he never was. Oh, and one more thing. I just want to let everybody know. And I gotta take off the glass for this. Momiji was the first one to kiss Toru. I never forgot that. He was the first one. So he let Kyo know, hey, I did it first. I didn't hit it first, but I was the first one. Hey. Could you stop intimidating Kisa? He's just standing there menacingly. Bro, look at how Hero's looking at him so condescendingly. Kisa is adorable. I like how that's a big accomplishment for her. But you gotta know that Kisa hasn't really interacted with a lot of the Somas or anybody in general because she has a relationship with Haru. She has a relationship with Toru, of course. But even though she's like been in Shigure's house, she hasn't like really interacted with anybody like that. I guess Yuki as well, a little bit, but yeah. Did you pick on Akito? I might have to put more respect on Shigure's name. That man is really out here bullying whole gods. He is bullying gods and making them more withdrawn. And then he'll be like, "Oh, what? I didn't do anything. I got hey, he doing his thing." Oh, he said, "Pick on someone your own age." True. You know things are real bad when Hattori is on the outside looking in and telling Shigure to be a little nicer. That's why Shigure feels so twisted. Because he sees other people who are like actually good people, but he's like, bro, that's just not me. Yeah, I ain't trying to be her daddy. Oh, wait. Let me see how tall Momiji is compared to Yuki. Yuki still looks a little taller. Okay. Oh, I just noticed that. I probably would have to go back to make sure, but Momiji's wearing boys' clothes now because he was wearing the girls' uniform before when he was. I gotta give like the short Momiji, like this is a whole different Momiji. I gotta give like different the forms different names. I'm gonna call him Emoji Momiji. That's going to be the short form. And this is just, I guess, I'm gonna just call him like, I don't know, Ultimate Momiji. Like, yeah, Emoji Momiji wore the girl's uniform, the hat and whatnot. Still has the bunny backpack, but I didn't notice that he wears the boy's uniform now. And that ring too. Did he always wear that ring? I don't remember that him wearing that ring ever. Maybe it's something I overlooked, but I don't think so. So where did he get it from? I might be taller than you and better looking, and then I'm gonna take your girl. Ooh! Hold on, let me pause it. I can't even pause it. Yo, look at yo. We boxing in there. My son, look at yo. Look at. Let's go, Momiji. My son Momiji said, I'm gonna be taller, better looking. She already called me the prince. She was my first kiss. I was her first kiss. Listen, I slept with her. Listen, I'm putting in my resume. I'm trying to see would she say yes to me? Would she accept my proposal? I'm trying to give her a ring. Hey, look at Joe's face. Oh. He like, stop playing with me, boy. you know how hard I had to work to get this ship going. Stop playing. Listen. We all know the Kyo and Toru ship is going to happen at the end of the day, but I am not mad at Momiji trying to put in his application. Listen, it's all right for him to feel romantic feelings for Toru, and as far as it stands right now in the series, Toru is not taken. Kyo, you haven't made the necessary step to lock up Toru. You guys obviously have feelings for each other. That's obvious to the audience, but both of you guys haven't said anything like simple, do you want to go out with me? And of course, it's not so simple when you have upbringings. These people are very traumatized. So like taking the normal steps that would be like no brainers for like somebody normal like me or you watching it, is harder, it's tougher on them. But Momiji like, yo, I'm single, she's single, putting in my application. As far as I know, she's still in the market for a boyfriend, and I'm there. That's me. Ooh, that boy Kyo looks so heated though. Look at him. He like, bro, stop playing with me. Like we are. Come on, man. You know you stepping into my territory. Come on, bro. But Momiji like, hey, I'm stepping. She ain't claimed, bro. Shout out to my son Momiji, bro. That is my son. That is my son right there. Stop playing with him. Do you get that if you give up, something like that might happen? And this goes back to what Shigure was saying earlier in the episode. Like, people will change, emotions will change. You can't stay complacent and expect things to just work in your favor. You have to take initiative. Kyo has to take initiative. And like I said, Kyo has felt this way about Toru very early on. Like he's already said in his mind at least that he loves Toru. He loves Toru. He's in love with Toru. On Toru's side, we see the feelings and we see there's a romantic interest that she has for Kyo as well. She hasn't explicitly said that she loves Kyo, but there's been a lot of hints and clues here and there to show that she's in love with Kyo as well. But both of them, sometimes you just gotta say things. But they've both have not made the necessary steps to become an idol, become a couple. And Momiji's letting Kyo know, if you just sit there and don't say anything, someone can come there and take Toru. But I think what Momiji's saying here isn't just to push Kyo to take action. I think Momiji is being serious here. Like, he's seriously saying, like, yo, like, I understand what's going on with you and Toru, but I like Toru too. So what's the move, playboy? When this thing is some other guy took Toru from you? And this is part of why I love Momiji's character, because he's someone who, he has the whole cute thing going for him where he can be very carefree and whatnot, but he'll have these serious moments where he'll just spit truth, straight facts. Kyo needs to hear this. Bro, you sit there and not do anything about wanting to be with Toru. Some guy could just take her. Not to say that Toru would get with any person that asked her. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. But again, if you just don't do anything, do you think Toru's going to be single forever? Do you think saying nothing is going to change your relationship? Like, that's the whole point. If you don't make a move, Momiji damn sure will. Papa's home? Bro, you is nobody's father. I like how nobody respected that. Maybe I should have dreamed of you. Whoa. Hey, okay. I know he's not like literally saying he would want to be with Toru. He says someone Toru like, but still like, whoa, whoa, creepy Uncle Shigure. Hold up, hold up. FBI, open up. And then you whisper in the, hey, Shigure, back up. Kyo, Yuki. I just thought about who else what Shigure said would apply to when he said again, when he said people will change, emotions will change. That also applies to Hattori and Mayuko, because we know that Hattori probably even still now has strong feelings for Kana, and I don't think those feelings will ever go away, but I think his feelings for Mayuko in the future will be even stronger than what he currently feels for Kana. That's, you know, again, emotions will change. He probably would have thought before that Kana would always be someone he would think about, be with, but shit happens. So I think those words also apply to those two, or I guess Hattori, not really Mayuko, since she always felt this way about Hattori. But yeah, is that boy Akira? I think that's his name. Akito's father. I wonder when exactly he died. Did that bond really break, or was that just her dream? Momiji? What? So Momiji's curse is broken? And you can see he's just looking at her like, he says right here, what about this person could possibly tie me down? So he doesn't even feel like the need to follow Akito's orders. What the fuck? How did the curse break? I don't know. I have no clue. Now I have like no clue at all. I always thought that rain had something to do with it, but it looks like I was horribly wrong. I have no clue. Like, I'm shocked. I am flabbergasted. And it's crazy how they immediately, like, instinctively know, like, the curse has been broken. No clue how it happened, though, at all. The fuck? This fly in a box? And it's kind of crazy how everybody, like, Momiji has, bro, this fly really want a box. Come on, throw up your set. Fight me like a man. Anyways, it's crazy how Momiji isn't telling anybody about it either. At least for now. He'll probably say something once we get deeper into the story, but it seems like everybody's trying to protect Akito even when the curse is not broken, because they see everybody has been commenting on it. Even though we didn't see Akito like this in the first season, we saw glimpses of it in the second season, but especially in the third season, Akito has been stated to be a frail, like, child almost. Once that curse is broken, everybody sees her completely different. They don't see her as a god. They see her as someone who needs to be pitied and needs to be helped. And I think that's very interesting. That's really interesting. And Haru could tell something that's different about him without actually knowing what it is. So I feel like your aura and your just presence feels a little different. Because that was the same thing with Kureno. See, it seems like the curse broke right after Momiji pretty much stated to Kyo that, like, he would pursue Toru, and that if he didn't take action, he would himself, pretty much. But I feel like love can't be what breaks the curse. I don't think, because I always go back to Kureno. Like, who was, if love is truly the thing that breaks the curse, which I don't think it is, but let's just say for argument's sake that it is, then how did Kureno's curse break? My co-host Perry, we do the it's called the Ox and Rat podcast, where we talk about Fruits Basket every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time on my main channel, Satsuki the Savage. He's talked about maybe the curses are different from everybody, each individual person, and I've always been like, I don't think so. But now I gotta kind of look at it like maybe that is it, because as it stands, I still don't know how these curses break. And Kyo was able to tell something's different as well. I gotta speak about that Momiji. Actually, I will save that for my afterthoughts. The conversation with Momiji and Kyo. I will save that. I will say that. I was gonna say something now, but I'll say that. Akito, I can't stay by your side for the rest of my life. I'm gonna do my own thing, man. He don't gotta take them. He do not gotta take them slaps. Maybe to break the curse, you gotta grow a certain height. You gotta get a growth spurt or something. I don't know. Oh man, he's talking to his mother. I'll probably have to say that for my afterthoughts too. Big Momiji, let Akito know. How long you gonna stay here complacent in the dark? We going to the future. All right, I'm gonna head out. And Momichi's mom is pretty. Woo. All right. That is the episode. I have a lot of thoughts, honestly. So be prepared for that. Let's get into it. So first of all, what Shigure said in this episode seems to be like the most important thing, because it applies to so many different characters, and I already expressed which characters I think it applies to, at least the characters that were shown in this episode, about how time will still keep going, emotions, people will change, and that is something that's a shot at Akito, who is stuck in his mindset that was taught to her by her father, that, you know, everybody loves her, she'll be this god, these bonds are forever, eternity. But that's not the case. Two bonds are broken now. Two people are free from her. Kurino is still there, but he's there of his own free will. You can't expect that to happen with everybody else, and the Momiji already let her know, I'm not going to tell anybody. He low-key told Kyo, he was like dry snitching, but he let her know, I'm going to live on my life and I'm going to find happiness. I know I can't change things in the past that may have happened. I'll talk some about that, but I'm going to live my life and move forward. And that's what I love about Momiji's character. One of my favorite episodes, I think, was episode 14 of season 1, where he has that talk with Toru while Toru is working, and it's when Toru hugs him, he turns into a bunny. That's one of my favorite moments in Fruits Basket, because they're going over, Momiji's going over his past, what happened with his mother, and how his curse was the reason why her mind broke and she had to have her memories wiped. And just thinking about how Momiji has to just live his life with his mother and sister within arm's reach, because he's in this building where he always sees her, he always sees his sister, but he has to be on the outside looking in and just like live with that. But he said that those memories are precious, and it's like unforgivable to forget them. I love that moment, because it shows that these memories are painful as hell, but either way, Momiji is going to be someone who moves forward. And that's what we're seeing in this episode. Like, the curse is broken and there's things that he can't change. And maybe his relationship with his mother, I don't know if like, even though the curse is broken, there's still a chance that her getting back those memories will again damage her. So who knows what will happen in the future, but that's not the point. It's just you gotta deal with it, and you gotta keep going forward. And not only is Akito somebody who stays complacent, but we see that with Kyo. He is someone who will not try to progress his relationship with Toru, and there's a reason for that. All right, I talked about some of the trauma that both of these characters have been through, because Toru has been through trauma, but she doesn't really let you on it too much. But the reason why Kyo feels this way specifically with Toru is because what happened with Kyo and her mother Kyoko. Now, through the flashbacks, we see that they talked to each other before, Kyoko and Kyo, but the death is where we don't know exactly what happened. But I think, given what we know about some of the things we know about her death and the timing of it, because her death happened and shortly after that, or maybe in the direct aftermath after that, Kyo was in the mountains training for 4 months and he was just like MIA. And you also had that one moment where we see Kazuma like saw him and Kyo was like distraught. He was like broken and we don't know why. But I think you could put 2 and 2 together and know that Kyo acted that way because Kyoko maybe died for his sake or something like that. Either way, I think Kyo was around when Kyoko died and he feels responsible in some way. That also plays into when we saw Toru, Hana, Yuki, Utani, and Kyo visit her grave, where or Hana noticed that he felt deep regret about something. So the reason why I don't think Kyo wants to progress his relationship with Toru is again because he feels this extreme guilt over Toru's mother's death. Okay, and that's just one segment of it. It's also due to the Soma curse. It's also due to his true transformation. It's also due to the fact that he still feels guilty about hurting her when he was in that form. So there's a lot of layers as to why Kyo doesn't just go out and say, Toru, let's go out, let's be a couple. Okay, so that is something that's a reason why Kyo doesn't try to get too close to her, and Toru specifically. Maybe things would be different if it was a different person that he was in love with, but with Toru specifically, there's a lot of issues with why Kyo doesn't just do with what Momiji said. But what Momiji said isn't wrong, all right? Although he has those things working against him, Toru's not going to be single forever. There's a lot of people that would vie for Toru's attention and would want to be her boyfriend. So it's something Kyo has to get over. He has to overcome it. He has to face it. That's the thing about it too. He doesn't really face these problems. He's still running away from them. Going back to Momiji, because I think he was really the centerpiece of this episode. It's interesting that he did not tell anybody about Akito or about his curse breaking, and he didn't use that against Akito and let people know that, yo, there's hope for the future. Because there's probably a lot of people who would want to know that the curse is breakable, because Kureno doesn't say anything. Now Momiji is not going to say anything. And for one, I'll just say it, for one, it's kind of story, it's for the purpose of the story, because we're only on episode 5. So if like everybody knew about the curse breaking, even if they don't know anything about it, that's like a big thing to happen early. So part of the reason why Momiji doesn't tell anybody is for story purposes. It's like, you can't have a big event like that happen and still have many chapters after, unless like you're telling a story that big. But Fruits Basket isn't that big of a story like that. But again, it's also due to what I said during the live reaction. The way Akito is perceived, especially by those who their curse is broken, she's perceived as fragile, and that's not how we viewed Akito in season 1. In season 2, you see more of that, but everybody still doesn't see her that way. But season 3 especially, not only do we see other people's perspective of Akito, we see Akito herself be very vulnerable when she's around with Kureno, when she's all alone, when she's around Shigure, when she feels that he treats her bad. And that's another thing in the episode, how Shigure feels and the twisted side of his personality. But I won't really talk about that much. But yeah, just how Akito has been brought up in this season especially, and with how you see how Rain is, it's kind of like you understand why Akito's broken. You kind of get it. Alright. So while Momiji doesn't know everything there is to know about Akito, it seems that he's going to take pity on her and not tell everybody about this, because it is something that will probably break her. As these bonds get broken, with Akito's strong attachment to him, it seems like Akito is losing more and more of herself. And maybe that could be a good thing, but we don't really we don't know. I love what Momiji had to say with Kyo about, you know, hey, if you don't do your thing, I'm gonna take Toru from you. I love that. And I also like the fact that when he sees Toru with Kyo, and then he goes like, you see him down even though the curse is broken, and he just thinks to himself like, the curse is something that I felt would like hinder a relationship with me and Toru, but even though it's broken, he sees that Toru he sees Toru blushing when Kyo is around, so he understands that Toru is in love with Kyo, and it's just kind of like the reality sets in that the curse isn't the only thing that's in his way. Kyo is in his way. Like, that's his ultimate, that's the person he has to overcome if he wants to be with Toru. And it's like, what can you do at that point? So like, once the curse broke and he sees Toru like that, he's like, damn, man, like, shit, I don't got anything really setting me back, but she loves Kyo. She loves Kyo. I just like the fact that relationship had a romantic angle to it, even if it doesn't lead anywhere with either of these characters when it comes to them getting together. I like the fact that it was brought up that Momiji sees Toru in that light, because I think that's an indication of him growing up, other than him just fucking well, we already know about the height thing, man. But it just shows you like, yo, like I said in the live reaction, man, Momiji told her like, yo, I'm a man, I see you in this light. He didn't really say that, but that's where he was getting at. It's good that these feelings were explored at the very least. Again, Kyo and Toru, that's going to be the thing at the end. Momiji and Toru, it's not going to happen. Sorry, my son, I'm sorry. You're going to have to find a different girl. But again, I'm glad that you guys at least let us see that a little bit. We also saw the other Zodiacs, them thinking about how or what the curse would do with their significant others. We saw that with Yuki and Machi. We saw that with Ayame and Mine. And this is something that happens across the board. But yeah, I think I talked about everything I want to talk about. My afterthoughts this time around are very long, so appreciate everybody who bared with me to the very end. Let me know your thoughts on the episode. But guys, that is it for me. I am Satsuki Reactor. Like, comment, subscribe. I am out.